Okay, so I finally got round to watching Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. This is a movie I've been meaning to get round to watching pretty much since it came out. And before I go on to my review, can I just talk about how flippin' cool this movie poster is? Um, but anyway, so, as I said, this movie's one I've been meaning to get around to watching for ages because it's the only live-action Resident Evil movie that actually has anything to do with the video games whatsoever. Because obviously all the Mila Jovovich movies are just like their own original thing. Whereas this movie is basically just a movie retelling of Resident Evil 1 and 2 kind of combined together. Which I think works. Like, obviously this movie makes slight changes to the games, and the characters look completely different, because I swear they went out of their way to cast people who looked as different from what the characters look like as humanly possible. But minus the actors looking different and minor plot changes, this is more or less an exact one-to-one telling of the story of those two games. Like, realistically, you could watch these games and then just play some of the later video games that then kind of refer back to these games, and you'd still know what they were talking about. But yeah, so if you are a Resident Evil fan, like, I would recommend watching this movie. I think it is good. I do think amalgamating the plots does kind of work, because this movie is weird. Because obviously Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 follow completely different sets of characters, because you obviously have Leon and Claire in RE2 and Chris and Jill in RE1. I think I've said that the right way around anyway. But either way, they're split into groups. So I was expecting with this movie them to kind of combine the plots a lot more, so you kind of had all four characters like together. But really, outside of the opening few scenes, the characters are split up the entire rest of the movie. Outside of, again, like, the end scene, it's really outside of the opening and the end scenes, like, the characters just do not meet each other at all. So, which is a weird choice, but it does make sense, and it, like, works on account of the fact that obviously you're having to try and do basically two completely different plots and stories at the same time. So basically it does just keep cutting between two, I was going to say unrelated plots. I mean, they're not unrelated, but because, like, you know, what happens in one does kind of impact the other, and vice versa, because obviously this is set during the initial outbreak in Raccoon City. I think the action scenes were done well. I think the monster designs were done extremely well. Actually, like, I think the zombies, and there's also a licker in this movie, and also, to my extreme surprise, they even do the, like, William Birkin transformation at the end of this movie, which I did not think the film would have the CGI budget to do that. They actually do that, and it does look very, very good. The one thing that they did kind of change about his design is because, you know, with, like, William Birkin, like, half of his face is kind of gone, because it's sort of like this eyeball on his shoulder. They don't really do that. His head just looks like a human head. He does still have the, like, eyeball shoulder, but the actual head is still just looks like a normal human head. He more kind of looks, I was going to say, it's more akin to, like, the Incredible Hulk, really, how he looks in this movie. But still, the fact they did the transformation at all, I'm genuinely surprised by. The RPD also does look pretty good. You don't really actually see that much of it, to be honest. I was going to say much of it in account, because obviously in the game, it has, like, a bajillion rooms. You don't see anywhere near that many rooms. The actual, like, main lobby bit, though, is basically exactly what it looks like in the game. And also the scene with the guy with the truck, like, which is the opening scene of RE2. They also do pretty much exactly recreate that scene too, which is actually very cool. See, if you like Resident Evil and you've been wanting them to actually make a movie based off the video games, they have done. Watch this one. Because this film, I think, came out during, like, COVID or something. Like, I'm pretty sure it came out at some really weird time, which is why I never went to the cinema to see it. And I do think it is a shame that, like, a load of people didn't, because I think if this movie had done really well at the box office and they'd then done, like, actual adaptations of, you know, all the other Resident Evil movies, you could have had a really good franchise going here. I am intrigued by the one that's coming out in, I think, June or July this year. I'm still waiting for the trailer for that to come out, but once the trailer comes out, and if it looks good, like, I probably will go see that one. But if you are one of about 6 people on this planet that's actually seen this movie, Drop in the comments below what you thought of this movie, and if you haven't seen this movie but you like the Resident Evil games, as I said, I do implore you to go and watch this movie. It's not really on, like, any streaming services, which is the shame. Pretty much the only way you can watch it is, like, renting it for, like, £3 off of YouTube. I don't know why it's not available on, like, anywhere. Which is the one issue with it, because I've been trying to find it on DVD for like years, and I've failed miserably. But if you can actually find a way to watch this movie, then I would implore you to watch the movie.